Well, hello and welcome to the Race First broadcast of the night before. So this is brought to you by the r/IndyCar iRacing League, but we're going to be running some Indy Pro 2000 cars at the Lucas Oil Raceway. One of the things that happens in the real life, I think they might have been running today in real life as well as we prepare for the 500 tomorrow. So according to my statistics, this is Lucas Oil Raceway is a 0.686 mile track, 1.1 kilometers. The data on Wikipedia about the banking says that it's 12 degrees. However, I have to say, I highly doubt that it's 12-degree banking. It seems more like 6-degree banking, like Milwaukee banking to me, but that is what the official numbers are. So we've got a little bit of a low car count tonight. But we're going to try to make do. We were supposed to run some heat races, so we'll just play it by ear and see what happens. I just decided to go streaming a little bit early to get you guys some practice. So let me get this off of the screen. And we've got some cars on track. We've got Chance Manning currently in first, Julian Altena in P2, Alexander Van de Zandt, who won the iRacing Indianapolis 250 race earlier in the week, in third. Kevin Smalley in fourth. Oh, and we have a car spinning there. Let's see how much time. We only have 20 seconds left. And to make sure that I get his name correct, who is our admin here? He wrote it out for Kresge. Is how I would pronounce that from what he said. Christopher Kresge in P5, Josh Cox in P6, Eric Welch in P7. So there we go. That is, so we'll see what happens. We might be going back and forth into the Be Right Back, like we did a little bit at the Indianapolis race for this r/IndyCar iRacing League earlier this week. This should be a 5-minute qualifying session coming up, though. And I believe it's a 2-lap thing. So what we did have planned tonight was to run 4 or 5 races. I'd have to double check what it says now. I don't know if we'll be doing that anymore. But somehow we'll be running some races tonight. We were going to do some heat races and run a feature at some point. So we've got Christopher Kresge on track, making his warm-up lap. He crushes the start-finish line, navigates through turn 1. They're running the Majors Garage Baseline Plus setup tonight. Might be a little bit slower than what would be in the open setup out here, but it is night, so that should help the grip on the track. We'll be running this high line here. It's kind of a feature of the Lucas Oil Raceway to run that high line. That's where the most banking is. Maybe the banking is 12 degrees up there. So Chance Manning set a 124 mile an hour lap. Alex Van de Zandt knocks him off with a 126 mile an hour lap, and then Chance gets him right back with a 128 mile an hour lap average. Christopher there could only squeak out a 119 mile an hour lap. But again, we're only in a field of 7 or 8 cars here, so we'll see what happens. I know there was a few drivers that were interested in this race that are not here. Julian Altena is on track. See what he can do. It's on his warm-up lap. This is now his first lap out. Got to be careful to not brush that wall. He just set, that was actually his first lap, 125 mile an hour lap. So this is his second lap as he navigates through 3 and 4. And onto the front straightaway. You've got to be careful to not get a 1x in these cars. Very easy to do. And he hops up to P2 with 126.74 mile an hour lap. But that pit lane's in a pretty interesting position. Looks like one of our other drivers who was having some connection issues earlier, Tony Patty, is also out on track. Interesting livery we've got here. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but puts in a solid lap, 120 mile an hour, oh actually 123, pardon. Got on that second lap there. As qualifying comes to an end. So we originally had 3 or 4, let me pull up the information. We were gonna have 3 15-lap heat races with 8 cars each. Since our entire field is 7 or 8 cars, we're gonna see what happens here. I'm not sure if everybody's gonna be on the track or we're gonna have a partial field, or maybe we're just gonna run 4 or 5 heat races and see what happens. You know, this will be fun. We'll do this. This will be a 15-lap race. Maybe we're doing half the field in one. No, it looks like we're doing a full field. That pickup truck. Never confirmed what that is. Whether it's like a Chevy Silverado or what, Toyota Tundra. I just don't know pickup trucks. But we've got a full field out here. And we've got one of our drivers who's listening to Ellie Goulding. I have no idea who that is. Pardon me, I don't know my artists of today. But we are streaming. I was just double checking to make sure we were. Got one car that has not come to the grid yet. Kevin Smalley, we're waiting on him. So we're gonna do probably 4 15-lap races. Kevin Smalley is gridded now. I don't know if we're having caution flag. So I've actually never driven this car on this track. I've driven, so this is actually my first broadcast that's not an IndyCar race. I primarily drive the IndyCars, although occasionally I do get into the F2000 races. So the F2000 races, no cautions in those. So we'll see what happens. My feedback from the drivers before the race is I heard this is a very tricky setup to drive on this track. Let's hope they can keep it clean. I did see some excellent driving during the practice session. Alex Van de Zandt and Julian Altena were pretty impressive, side-by-side racing. So we'll see what happens. I think we'll be doing a 2-lap caution there. The pace truck should be diving into pit lane momentarily, and we're going to be heading green here. This track looks pretty impressive at night, I have to say. As Chance Manning leads the field here, he's got that 711 TK livery. Julian Alton on the outside with that Raceverse livery, followed by Alex Van de Zandt. And Chance Manning takes the green flag and slots into the first place. Alex Van de Zandt is on the inside of Altena. And they've gone single file. Van de Zandt backed off on Altena there. As Chance Manning leads our first lap in the Lucas Oil Raceway. This will be 15-lap feature here, or not feature, 15-lap warm-up. As we prepare for the feature, Chance Manning already breaking out to a half a second lead, with Alex Van de Zandt right on the tail of Julian Altena here. as Kevin Smalley and Josh Cox in the back also racing. Our admin here racing with Tony Patty, who came in late on the session there. Tony Patty might just be focusing on getting their grips on this particular setup, since they didn't have as much time to set this up with this setup so far. Alex Van de Zandt still pressuring Julian Altena back here. Looking inside. Oh, and he loses it. And just barely nudges the wall. Do we have a caution flag? We do not. And Alex Van de Zandt whips it back into gear and corrects it. So he will drop to the back of the field. We did not have Eric Welch, did not start the race. Now back up to the front. Chance Manning is checked out. About a second and a half from Altena. We've got Josh Cox in P3. Kevin Smalley in P4. Christopher Kresge in P5. Tony Patty in P6. And all the way back, Alex Van de Zandt after that mistake on the lower line. It's as the track builds rubber tonight, it might get a little bit easier to drive that lower line, but certainly difficult with the amount of rubber that we have out here so far with this low car count and just half-hour practice out here. So Chance Manning here, we only have 7 laps to go. Let me put that up on the screen for you guys out there. Lap 8 of 15. Is anybody pressuring anybody back here? I'm just looking at my intervals back here. I do not see. So I'll just go through the field. Chance Manning in P1, Julian Altena in P2, Josh Cox about a second back from Altena, Kevin Smalley another second back from Josh Cox, Kresge is back 3 seconds from Kevin Smalley, and Alex Van de Zandt after that mistake is 6 seconds back. We'll see if Chance Manning ends up being able to, maybe we'll go on board with him and see, yeah, he can. Actually, Tony Patty looked like they had a mistake. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. It might have happened earlier than any of this, though. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. Looks like they were already slow at this point. It's a pretty wild livery. Yeah, so let's go back live. I couldn't see when that was. So the leader has passed at that Bryant logo on the front there. Let's go back to our TV view. As Altena passes the lapped car of Tony Patty. So Van de Zandt got past Patty at some point in time. Patty Manning has actually Altena has caught up slightly to Manning, but we've only have 2 laps left in this thing. So wow, he's really driving that high line, and we'll see if Josh Cox will have to navigate around Tony Patty as well. There we go. So let's see here. 2 laps to go now. Chance Manning, we have 1 lap to go. We've updated our data here. I don't know why that switched to that particular display, but fix that. And Chance Manning comes for the victory in race 1 here tonight at the night before the 500. So Chance Manning in P1, Julian Altena in P2, Josh Cox in P3, Kevin Smalley in P4, Christopher Kresge in P5, Alex Van de Zandt in P6, Tony Patty in P7. So Alex Van de Zandt's going to have an opportunity to make up for that mistake in race 1. We're going to have the fireworks are out. Let's see if we can. I don't think we're going to be able to see these fireworks. I wish I had a camera that would basically after every race we're going to have the fireworks. So from what I'm seeing, we're gonna have cars gridding now. So nice warm-up race there. And from what I see, we have a 40 laps, and this might be our feature. So this is going to be an inverse grid from previous. So, well, it's not exactly inverse. Well, we're going to see what happens here. And actually, my data just said that it was 189 laps, but then it switched back to 40 laps. So, yeah. Our fireworks keep going off. The pre-race fireworks. So we'll have 2 laps behind the pace car once again. Let me just check one thing real quick. I want to make sure that... Alright, we're back. I just wanted to make sure that if there was any other information I had for you guys, but I see that we're on a 40-lap race. I don't know if this is the feature or... certainly, so Chance Manning is in... I think what we have is the field has gone inverse. However, Patty is out of the race. So we're starting with 6 cars in this feature race. One of our cars has dropped out, and we're doing an inverse field because Van de Zandt had finished 6th and Kresge was 2nd. So this should be interesting to see Altena and Manning, who had won the heat race, trying to come up through the field. Van de Zandt in a very good position, though, having conveniently spun in that race, is now, they had started P3 in that race. So this could be really interesting as we go green. Green flag, green flag. On lap 1 of this, possibly the feature race. We can see Chance Manning has... already passed Altena back there, and Kresge's just dropping back through the field safely. Altena gets past as well. Van de Zandt hasn't... Whoa, we've got Kevin Smalley really getting close there on... Sorry, my results... it was Josh Cox on Kevin Smalley there. Oh, and it looks like... Who's that around? Is that Smalley or is that Cox? And we've got a caution flag, and unfortunately, it looks like the race will come to an end. There's no fast repairs in here as far as I understand. And let me, for some reason my overlay doesn't like to go have cautions. It doesn't auto update for me. So let's have a look at what happened there. Let me go back. So there was just some very tight racing here, and it was Josh Cox on the inside line, just looped it around, going very, very low, loses that rear end, and just collects Julian Altena there. Nowhere to go for Altena, and his car was raised up until he hit the reverse. And let's go back to... actually, let's go back and see if we can ride on board with Altena here. Oh, a little bit too early for that. So just nowhere to go for Altena here. He was pretty committed to this position on the high line, and that car slid up in front of him. Chance Manning, our winner from the heat race, luckily got by and nowhere to go. And luckily this is a virtual race because Josh Cox might have had his head taken off otherwise. All right, well, Altena is going to be heading to pit lane. We'll see if this is game over for him, or is there anything that they can salvage from this. I suspect that It's probably game over, certainly for Josh Cox, possibly for Altona as well. So that's unfortunate. We had 2 of our 6 cars taken out here. But we'll have an interesting race. It only takes 2 cars to make a race, and we've got Chance Manning in 3rd, our winner of the heat race, and Van de Zandt, who had started 3rd in the heat race, is now in 1st. So this will be an interesting battle here. Van de Zandt, you know, he's an experienced driver and made that mistake in the heat race, but I think, you know, he's gonna try to take this one home if he can. I see down in the pit lane that both cars are still on pit lanes, so I don't think they're going to be able to repair those cars. Certainly going to be a couple laps down, even if they could. Looks like Josh Cox has gotten out of the car. Altona is still in there, and I don't see... Okay, they've put a new front wing on that car. It's going to be a couple laps down. He's just going to be waiting. Okay, as we go back to green. And we'll be watching as Chance Manning has to make his way through the field. See if he can make that inside line work. Although I did see that Kresge dropped back. He might have looped it back here. On that restart going into turn 1. So let's have a look at that real quick. Not sure what happened there. We've stayed green. Yeah, he just looped it going in 1 and unfortunately made pretty good contact. Let's head back to live pictures here. So Manning, who really had that dominating heat race win, struggling a little bit with Kevin Smalley here. So Kresge's in the pits. Altona is still in the pits as well. Might just not want to get in the way or anything like that. I see Julian's in the chat. Julian, do you know if there's going to be any more races here, or is this the feature race? I figured that the feature race was going to be 40 laps, so I'm a little bit surprised that we went straight. I thought we could just do multiple heat races before we got to this one, so that everybody got a chance. But we'll see what happens. So Van de Zandt's brought out a 1.3 second lead. We've got Chance Manning back here in P3 that he's keeping that just a half second ahead of him. Yes, so the feature, this is the feature that was confirmed to me. One of our drivers who's in the chat. So we'll see if Chance Manning can get around Kevin Smalley first. He's got 25 laps to do it. We're going to probably go green flag for the rest of this race. Difficult to pass here. It's got to do that, get around on the low side. And you can see two different lines here between Smalley's taking a little bit of a low line in the corners, but Manning is staying high in the corners, of course. So they're kind of back and forth, and now Manning goes low. He's right on the gearbox of Smalley here, and he's looking low. Meanwhile, while these two cars battle, Alex Van de Zandt has made a 2 second, nearly 2 second, 1.9 seconds lead. So I think it's just a matter of time. It's how quick can Chance Manning get around Kevin Smalley here. Looks like Altona is heading back out on track after he's about 8 laps down. I guess he wants to get around. Actually, my information is, I don't know. I have okay, he's 11 laps down. He's 2 laps back from Kresge. So if he can get out, he might be able to get that 4th position from Kresge. So far, Chance Manning hasn't been able to get around Kevin Smalley. He's still working on him. This felt like his best chance right here, but that It's going to get that aero wash. The tires are degrading each lap. A lot of wear in these corners. Even in the F2000 races that I've run with these cars, I've certainly, after the first few laps, the tires are kind of, you know, they're at their maximum temperature, and the grip is no longer there. So completing a pass at that point is quite difficult unless the car in front of you makes a mistake. Plus, these modern open wheel cars get a little bit of that aero push, as I see Altona has moved into the 4th position over Kresge, who's probably still on the pit lane. Yes, he's still on the pit lane. Altona's out on track. Could become a problem. So Van de Zandt is 2 seconds ahead. So what I'm seeing is every time Chance Manning here gets close with Kevin Smalley, he just can't get that. He tries to go low, tries to get that pass in, and when he does that, you know, he loses that front end and then drops back. He gets a 1/10 back, and then he drops to 3/10 back where he's running right now. That's 7-Eleven Bryant sponsor there, the TK livery. So TK, did he run that livery? Was it Iowa this year that he ran in that, or was it Texas? I don't recall which weekend that was that he was running that this year. I think it was Texas, because he was running the Bryant livery itself. Like it was the first time Bryant was a primary sponsor that I can remember on that car at the Iowa race. So Kresge's still in the pit lane, waiting for that repairs. Now 17 laps down. We've got only 14 laps to go. And I think that Chance Manning is just, his tires are probably, you know, just getting used up from that aero push that he's getting from the car of Kevin Smalley. Up ahead here, Alex Van de Zandt is now almost 3 seconds ahead. Let's see, will he be coming up on any traffic or anything like that? I don't see any. Good camera angles here, I like these. This certainly makes it a little bit more exciting here. So Chance Manning once again back up to Kevin Smalley. They're really high in that corner, though. Just, you almost come up brushing the wall there with these guys. I see Kresge's back out on track, and he is wise and steers back into the pit lane to keep out of these guys' battle. So Kevin Smalley's tires might be going off slightly, as Chance Manning now just tucks under the gearbox of Kevin Smalley there. So Van de Zandt's now up to a 3.5 second lead out up front. Just running up against really, really high lines sometimes in these corners. You don't want to get too high. With this damage model, you just touch that wall a little bit and it can blow out your tire, so certainly have to be careful. Chance Manning was really high coming into the corner there. Let's go back here. So let's quickly look at it in cars. You can see how close these guys, and he's going low there. The car is just sliding up the track as we're down to 7 laps to go. Again, my information, as I said in the intro, was that this is a 12-degree banking track. I highly doubt that. I don't know who did that calculation, because it doesn't seem like 12 degrees of banking at all. Maybe they're saying that third lane is, but even that seems pretty difficult. So Kevin Manning had a good run on Smalley here, but he just slides up the track on him. 5 laps to go at this point. We tick down the laps. You could hear those tires scrubbing on the track. Just constant scrub as he gets that aero push, basically. I don't want to call it that, but turbulent air on that front wing. Just 2/10 back, but he can't find his way around Smalley. You had to imagine if he could have gotten around Smalley in this race that he might have been able to chase down Van de Zandt, but even if he had, you know, he wouldn't have been able to get around him. He gets just in about 2/10 of a second and just cannot find his way around the second place car of Smalley. We head back, so Altena is back here, 12 laps down. Kresge's just sitting on the pits, 28 laps down. We have a commandeering lead from Van de Zandt there. Now, 5 seconds ahead. He's just cruising up here, just complete opposite kind of race from what he had in that first heat race, as we're down to 1 lap to go as my overlay goes all messed up there and goes to a timed race. Final lap, Van de Zandt is going to cross the start-finish line for his victory. Checker flag is out. Van de Zandt is a winner at Lucas Oil Raceway, and as we can see, the last second here, so Chance Manning here went for it, and he lost it right there at the end. And crosses the start-finish line in 3rd position. Let's quickly look at what happened. It looked like he was really low. We're gonna watch this whole lap again. And see, Chance Manning just loses it. Really low, almost on the apron of the track, and just loses it. Let's see here, Van de Zandt here. I think he probably did some donuts there. Let's see if we can get back to that, or he's just sitting there. Okay, there we go. We'll see if, let me make sure I'm in the right channel. We might be able to get Van de Zandt up here in the broadcast. Julian Altena said he's happy with his 4th position in the chat there. So Van de Zandt, I don't know if he's won any more this week, but I know that this is his 2nd victory of the week at least. And I see Chance Manning's out there finishing 3rd, winning the heat race. See, I can't actually move him. I don't think I have the rights to do that, so I'm just gonna come down.
On the relative.
Hey, you guys are on the broadcast, by the way. I couldn't move you. So, hey, Chance, you won in the heat race, and you finished 3rd. Couldn't get around Smalley there in the feature here. I hear Chance is pinging, but I'm not sure if he has his microphone ready to go.
I am here, and my sound is no longer running through my butt kicker.
Yeah, there you go. So, I guess my voice was running through the butt kicker, huh?
It felt weird.
Okay, so tell me about your heat race, and tell me about that race. You were trying to run down Kevin Smalley there, and you couldn't make it around him on that one.
Yeah, the heat race went super well starting on the pole. The aero push in these cars is insane. You get behind somebody, and especially a track like this where it's not really one groove, but it's kind of one groove, you get stuck back behind people and it makes it really hard to pass.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually driven this track with these cars, but I have driven the F2000 cars here, and certainly kind of a similar race for you there, like in those cars. So yeah, that's good to know. I know that we wanted to have more cars out here tonight, but you got that heat race win, and you got a third place here. So what do you think about Alex there? He spun in that first race and conveniently starts first in the feature.
With about 5 to go in the heat race, I was like, wait a second, there's an invert. I definitely thought about it too. So.
Yeah. Well, we had fun here tonight, so that's the main thing, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So we'll talk to Kevin if he's there, and congratulate him on P2.
Hey, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so you held off. I mean, our chance, dominated the heat race, and you held him off. I wasn't sure if you could, but you did. So tell me about that race for you.
Yeah, it's really hard to. Oh, sorry, I got a notification saying mic issues. Can you hear me? Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay, great. Sorry. I think it's really tough to pass here, and like he was talking about the arrow push when you're behind. I've been using a different setup in league in the normal official races with it's a lot more freer, and it was a good setup, it's a safe setup, but yeah, pretty hard to pass. And so hey, all I got to do is put it where it's going to be and don't screw up, and you'll probably be all right.
Yeah, I mean, you brought it home, and you fought off Chance there, so congratulations on a second place. Do you have any, and I should have asked Chance this, do you have any sponsors or anybody you want to thank for this podium position here?
Yeah, well, I'd like to thank the organizers. I don't have any sponsors myself, but it was a fun time. Appreciate the people putting it together. Appreciate your help here broadcasting. That's really fun. Nice night.
Yeah. Have a good one, man.
Thanks.
So we'll head on up to Alex Van de Zandt, as apparently on the screen there was a crash. But anyway, so Alex, congratulations. I don't know if this is your second victory of this week, or there's been more somewhere in there. I know, obviously, you won at the TI race on Monday.
Yeah, this would be my second victory in iRacing this week. That's correct.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well,
first time in this car, too, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I've only run one race in these cars, so that's pretty good. But tell me about your strategy there, about spinning out in that first race and then conveniently starting on the pole in the second one. Was that a plan?
I swear on my life, I forgot about the reverse grid. I promise you that was not intentional. I was just trying to get around Julie and took it too low, too aggressive on the throttle and looped it.
Yeah, I saw back in practice you two had a good battle for a little while in practice, you and Julian side by side for a while, and it's just hard to run these cars, I imagine, on the low line. So that's I guess how it is, right?
Yeah, getting pole was really beneficial. Not that it was intentional. So I was just able to take off, control the start, and wouldn't be difficult to keep people behind me if I needed to. Yeah,
that's right. With all of that turbulent air, I guess, behind, and taking that air off the front wing, you kind of knew you were in a command position then. So, well, congratulations on this one. Which was more difficult for you this week? Was it the TI one or was it this one?
I think it was the TI one. Not by much, though.
Yeah. I mean, 250 miles versus, 40 miles. It's like 36 miles on this, probably, something like that, on this track, because it's like 0.686 and you rode 40 laps. Well, congratulations, man. Hopefully, I mean, I know that Chris here is planning to do some more of these in the next season of the r/IndyCar iRacing League. So, hopefully once that becomes maybe a more permanent fixture on the schedule, we'll get some more cars out here. But either way, you won the first feature race with these cars. So.
Yep, I had a lot of fun tonight. Big shout out to Chris for organizing this, and thank you, Matt, for doing the broadcast.
Yeah, no problem. Well, we'll see you in the TI League on Monday, and we'll see you at Charlotte Roval on Wednesday. Have you been practicing there any?
Not yet. I've been too busy.
All right. Well, good luck when you do. It will be really fun.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Yep. Take care, Matt.
All right, you too. So we still have Julian here in the waiting room. I'd like to hear what he thinks. I think you finished second in the heat race, and you finished fourth in this one with the survival. Somehow your car was repairable.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it was pretty beat up after that incident. I had like 4 minutes of total repairs, but 2 minutes of required. So I just served the required repairs and then went out again. And that's what got me P4. So
yeah, when you have that suspension damage, I don't know how repairable that is. So did you have suspension damage? I imagine you did, but I didn't really know for sure.
Yeah, my right front was completely dead. So
yeah, I didn't see what your like lap times were compared to everybody else, but I bet it was not good.
It was 19.1, 19.2, so it wasn't too bad. It was only 0.2 of what I was doing in the beginning. So
sometimes that can make you faster, but maybe not in these cars.
I did figure in practice that once I hit the wall once or twice, that it did make my car faster. But I don't know. I don't know how much that affected it. But it could have just been the tires getting up to temperature as well. So I'm not too sure. But
yeah,
it did work. So yeah. Anyway, with the feature, I'm pretty happy to get fourth. Like it's not a serious race, but it's nice to get a decent result, even though the car count was low.
Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe you'll drive some more of these cars going forward. And I know this was your first race in these cars, and it was his first race for Alex in these cars too. So, well, congratulations on getting that podium on the heat race and bringing it home, beating our admin to the fourth position in the feature.
That's what matters. But yeah, thank you for streaming and buying the car.
All right, you have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too, man. See ya.
All right, see ya. All right, well, that was our first night before. Well, it's just called the night before night, not night the night before the 500. I kept wanting to type that. It is the night before the 500, but I would assume that is probably a trademark of some sort. So I was just reading the chat there, and that Alex had said that he had forgotten about the reverse grid. But yeah, I was just joking about that. It was just very convenient. But congratulations to him, and we'll see if so. The r/IndyCar iRacing League will be broadcasting on Wednesday night at 9:30 from Charlotte Roval. Now, yeah, so not the Charlotte Oval, but the Charlotte Roval. That is going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to the broadcast of that one. Very chaotic track. I was telling Chris about it earlier this week, about how you won't even get past the chicane before the green flag will come out. So I think I don't remember the laps that were running there, but it's like 40 or 45. I don't think it's 50, but yeah, it will be a good race. A lot of fast guys in the r/IndyCar iRacing League, and we'll see how they get to grips with that Charlotte Roval. Maybe one day the Indy cars might end up going there. We'll see how that turn one is, though. But thanks for everybody that did tune in here. Wish we had some more car count tonight, but this is a taste of things to come, as the r/IndyCar iRacing League will probably be doing as a like starter race on race day for the Indy cars, like do a feeder series race for the IndyCar race with these cars. So if we have the car count for it. So thanks everyone for watching. Congratulations to Van de Zandt for getting that feature win. Kevin Smalley for bringing it home P2. Chance Manning for his heat race win and bringing it home in P3. Julian Altna bringing it P2 in the heat race and bringing it fourth in the feature. And Christopher Kresge for hosting this for us. Josh Cox crashed out early in the heat race, but he was there crashed out in the feature race. He was there in the feature, and Tony Patty I don't think made the feature, but was in the heat race. So Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Take care of yourself out there, and I'll see you on Wednesday night.